Welcome to your Daily Revolution podcast. Today's topic, how practice and drills turn into victory. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. My name is Setema, Gali, the founder and creator of the Prosperity Revolution, a global movement that helps you to get out of scarcity and into prosperity every single day. A movement where people have value, things do not, where money is a result of helping people, where you're rewarded for creating value for others, and where prosperity is not the result of luck, but a predictable steps and formulas, and where happiness is the ultimate goal. Great to have you here in the podcast. I'm down in Destin, Florida for Titan Immersion. Titan Immersion is our flagship program. You can see that at titanimmersion.com. It is for the men. And in 2 weeks, I'll be back here for Shield Maiden Immersion, which is for the women. And you can see that at shieldmaidenlive.com. So as we jump into the podcast, over the weekend we have football and I coach my boys. I coach the D-line and the O-line, and my son is in there, and I have another son who's a skilled guy. We get to practice, and I know the game so well. So we warm the guys up, and as we're driving to practice, I always tell my son, hey, get your mind right, son, right? Start to visualize and start to think about what you got to do in the hour and a half that we're there. And then they warm up, and they warm their body up. And by the time they're done with warm-ups and they get to me, I have all these drills, cone drills, bag drills, ladder drills, step drills. I just have drill after drill after drill. And while we're doing these drills, I'm telling them how it relates to the game. Now, I've done this for so long, mentally and physically, even though I've been out of the game almost 20 years. Been out of football for almost 20 years. I played my last down in 2003. I still have all this skill and this knowledge and experience. Why? Because I've done it so many times. I've rehearsed it so many times. So as a defensive lineman, we talk about getting off the ball. If you're a defensive lineman, your number one thing is, you got to get off the ball. But then getting off the ball means you explode as soon as the ball's hiked. But then you notice down and distance. Is it first down? Is it second down? Is it third down? Then you notice the formation, the offensive set, how many running backs, how many tight ends, receivers. And when you start to put the context together, the situation, and then you look at the stance of the guy you're going against. And you kind of figure out is the ball in the right hash, the left hash. See, the way that I do our drills is we get them starting with the basics and fundamentals. And what a lot of these young athletes don't get quite yet is that the drills lead to practice, meaning you're actually going against someone, which leads to a game. And if you can dominate the drill in front of you, it then leads you to be able to dominate practice when you're then getting more reps. So the same thing happens in business. See, a lot of people want to, or changing your life, right? Let's talk about changing your life. Whether you're a mother or a wife, a husband, a father, an entrepreneur, a business owner, manager, whatever and wherever you are. See, the fundamentals, practice and drills and repetition, it always leads to a game. And if you do the fundamentals and the drills and the warm up and the off season and the preseason and the gym, if you do those things right, then you have a greater chance to succeed and win the game. Well, the same thing goes with changing your life. So when people want to change their life, sometimes they try to go, well, let me just go start a business, when that's the last thing they should do. Or let me go, and again, they try to take these big steps. Well, maybe if I just go pay a mentor $100,000. No, that's not the step. One of the first steps is to tell the truth and to stop lying. That's principle number one, right? The truth will set you free in the 13 principles. And if something in your life isn't working today, you can be assured that there's a lack of integrity or there's incongruency. Meaning what you know to be true and what you live are not in alignment, or what you say you're going to do and what you do are not in alignment, right? You're not being real or honest. And it's only when you start to tell the truth that you can actually move forward. So again, you start with the basics and fundamentals. And once you start to tell the truth and you start to fill your mind with new information, which gives you new insights and new perspectives. See, where a lot of people fail is they try to go create different results, right? Let me go create different results with the same level of thinking that's gotten me here, or with the same information that's gotten me here, or with the same skills that got me here. It doesn't work. Same thing in football. Like I'm going to go be a great football or basketball player, but you don't infuse new information and new training and new perspective and coaching and new practice and rehearsal and drills and training. If you don't do any of those things new, how in the world are you going to get new results? How are you going to change the behavior? You see, behavior is a function of several things. Well, really five things. Number one, right, the desires. Number two, like these beliefs. Number three, the pain of where you're at. Number four, future goals and outcomes. And then, of course, number five, your identity. It's only when you begin to shape all these things can you then really powerfully and permanently change behavior. Well, it's the same thing with athletes. It's the same thing with business owners. So wherever you're at in your life today, this is called your daily revolution, a revolution within your thinking, within your internal game. And I see so many people, they talk about becoming wealthy. They write down they want to be wealthy. They put on Instagram, I'm over here living my best life. Hard to live your best life when you're financially not where you want to be, or you're physically unfit and unhealthy, and your marriage is falling apart, but you continue to pretend and to filter. I would do like what a football player does. Get the coaching. That's not my invitation for you today. If you're going to change your life, start with the basics and fundamentals. Start reading books. For some of you, you're like, oh my gosh, I would never pay that much. Well, that's fine. I paid a lot of money for mentors, and one day I've invested heavily into myself. And that doesn't mean that that's what you got to do. For some of you, the greatest thing you could do is pick up a book. Whether it's like, I love Rich Dad, Poor Dad, changed my life. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, this changed my life. 2001, I tried to read it, but I wasn't ready. I was a football player. 2003, when I'm done with football, I read it 3 times in like 3 days. I couldn't put it down. It blew my mind. Like, wow, Rich Dad, assets, liabilities, cash flow. This is amazing. Then I read 7 Habits back in 1995. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People completely changed my life. Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill completely changed my life. So for some of you, those might be the starting drills and the warm-up, like football players, the fundamentals. Maybe you continue to listen to podcasts, and if you're listening to this, I really appreciate it. But I promise you right now, you gotta start with the basics and fundamentals. Stop lying, tell the truth, put new information in your mind, develop new skills, right? Do the work that would help you completely transform your world. And you start small and you start simple. And that's the game. Like, you start small, you start simple, and like an athlete who gets into the game and gets things going, the same thing's going to happen for you to do that. So that's the podcast today. Again, just thinking about sports, thinking about transformation, right? And look, you're not going to climb the mountain in one step. So don't try to change your life in one step. Start with the books. For maybe spiritually, start with reading some scriptures or praying to God and asking him for help again. Maybe it's time to go talk to a church leader, or go back and find a church home. And I've had many men come through our programs, and I push them to go find God, and they'll go to 4 different churches or 5 different churches, find a church. And then a year or 2 years later, right, they're baptized, they're happy. They're like, thank you so much, Setema, for pushing me to go find God. Like, I could not imagine my life without God. So again, every one of you listen to this is at a different spot. But I invite you to take it small and simple. Start where you are. Get the right coaches, get the right mentors, invest in yourself, books, podcasts. Take care of your body, take care of your health, take care of your spirit, your heart, take care of your family. Better yourself so that today you are better than you were yesterday. Today you're better than you were a month ago. And today, you're better than you were last year. And tomorrow and next week and next month and next year, you'll be better than you were today. That's the game, my friends. Have an amazing day. I appreciate you listening. Take care.
Let's go! This is your daily revolution. Live in prosperity, we show you how to do it. There's no luck about it, we got the strategic blueprint. This is your daily revolution. You already know. And if you don't, then check my resume. Turning pressure into possibilities every day. We all can win and live our unique purpose. We change our mindsets and put the work in. This is your daily revolution. Daily revolution. Revolution. Your daily revolution podcast.